you guys doing today? Welcome back to Crash Blade Gaming. I'm Crash, and today we got another cool deck for you. This one took first place in a tournament recently. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, and I probably should, but oh well. But this deck is really good, and with the coming new rotation standard, we'll be able to show it off in PTCGO. So let's get into the deck list. Welcome to the deck list. We have Dragapult VMAX as our main Pokemon in this deck. The attack Max Phantom is just a little bit stronger with this new format, dealing 130 damage to the active Pokemon and 50 damage counters on our opponent's bench Pokemon. Not 50, 5 damage counters, which equates to 50 damage onto our opponent's bench Pokemon. And to help move this along, we have, of course, an Inteleon line. Almost every deck in the standard is playing an Inteleon line, but this one is a 2-1 quick shooting Shady Dealings line. And also, I'm including this Sobble because it has 70 HP and not 60 HP. That 10 HP makes a huge difference in some of these games. As, for example, you know, Dragapult VMAX, he can deal 5 damage counters. That basically almost knocks out the Sobbles. And it's just really difficult sometimes and makes them easy for bench targets and things like that since we don't have Mew in the format anymore. So that's why I chose to go with this Sobble. You can still use the Rapid Strike Sobble with the I forget the attack that lets you search for other Rapid Strike Pokemon, which, you know, could be good to use, but we only run 4 of them, and I didn't see much use in using that attack anyway. We also have a Zigzagoon here, just in case we need to ping an extra 10 damage somewhere. Scoop Up Nets, Suspicious Food Tin to heal some damage from our Psychic Pokemon with Psychic Energy. And we have Path to the Peak to shut down abilities. We don't play any abilities that Path to the Peak touches, but our opponents do. Rayquaza, for example, has an ability we want to shut down. Shadow Rider Calyrex has an ability we want to shut down. We want to keep these abilities from going off so that we can just continue to smash face into our opponent. Tool Jammer's here to stop air balloons and things like that. And that's pretty much the deck. The deck is really simple, really powerful. Let's see how it goes in the ladder with the new standard format. Let's get into it. Looks like we're going up against Zoshing here, and we get to go first. Unfortunately, we only have a Professor's Research in our hand, and those are our 2 Inteleons that I don't want to research away. So, we will be in a predicament if we don't get into a Marnie, preferably. Yeah, because then we'll just have the Shady Dealings Inteleon, and we don't play any rods. Get the Pokemon back. So that'll be something, but we'll go ahead and grab another Dragapult here and pass the turn. It would have been nice to get a Path to the Peak to stop an Intrepid Sword from happening, but we will hopefully be able to stop that next turn. They attach to the bench, which is fine. Yeah, if we don't top deck our opponent Marnie's us, I will say thank you. I appreciate it. My hand was bad because I had the research with the Inteleon. Drawn to a Marnie energy and a Path to the Peak. That's cool. Crystal Cave to heal his Pokemon. That's going to get replaced by my Path to the Peak. And we play a Zamazenta. And they get 1 energy off of the Intrepid Sword. That's fine. We do draw into a Drizzile, which I like. So I'm going to play the energy, evolve our Sobble into a Drizzile, and we will grab the Evo Incense to go into our VMAX. Play the Path to the Peak. I think I'm going to Marnie this Dragapult V back in. Don't need it quite yet, so we'll go ahead and do that. Quick Ball is always nice. And I think I'll use that Quick Ball to grab myself another Sobble. And we're going to go ahead and Max Phantom here. 130 to the active, 50 to the bench Zoshing. Get them nice and juicy for our targets. And see what our opponent does. Cape of Toughness, making that Zoshing just a little bit harder to knock out, unfortunately. That's okay. But no worries, they're able to power them up. They probably have a way to switch out this Zoshing in the active. If they don't, then a boss's orders would be nice. They do have a switch. That's fine with me. And they will Brave Blade 230 damage. And hopefully they won't be able to Brave Blade next turn. We top deck the Inteleon, which is nice. That gives me an Evo Incense to grab ourselves a Drizzile. Or another VMAX. Let's see what else is in the deck. I could get the boss's... Well, I don't need the boss's orders now. So let's grab the Drizzile here. Evolve the Sobble. Yes, I'll go get another Evo Incense. That way I can have a VMAX on the bench, ready to go next turn. And we go ahead and research here. Go ahead and quick shooting the Zoshing on the bench. 200. Ooh, only we were able to get a Scoop Up Net. Zigzagoon would have been able to take out that Zoshing on the bench for me, but we weren't. Let's go ahead and set up another Sobble here. Maybe I will have the need to get the other Inteleon out. And for now, let's go ahead and max Phantom. And I think we're going to go ahead and put all 5 on this Zoshing again. And if they don't attach a cape to that Zoshing on the bench, I can knock it out with any Inteleon. And this Zoshing here has 70 HP. So we're looking to be in a decent spot. Maybe our opponent does not have a supporter, they don't. So this will be interesting. I'll take 2 knockouts this turn. And if I get a supporter, I might be able to get another Inteleon out. If I do, things might be interesting. Well, I don't even need to use the Inteleon on that one now. Yeah, let's go ahead and use Zigzagoon here. This would have been nice to have. Next turn, our opponent concedes. He knew it was coming. Alright guys, looks like we're going up against Rayquaza VMAX deck. We'll see how we do. Our opening hand looks kind of good. We're going second, unfortunately. Would have been nice to go first, but I believe we have a good matchup here, and we will see how it goes. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and play this Level Ball. Grab ourselves another Sobble and just check the deck. We have our Inteleons. Looks like all of our Pokemon are here. Alright, we have everything we need in the deck. I don't even know what's in my prizes. I'm going to go ahead and Fog Crystal. Want to grab an energy. Getting this energy drop is important. I'm just going to bite here. I know I could have Marnied, but I don't want to. I have 2 Evil Incense, that's 2 VMAXs. I have a Drizzile. So yeah, I'm looking like I'm in a good position. We might be seeing the VMAX come out. Here it is. I think I might Drizzile for Pat to the Peak since I have a Marnie in my hand. Our opponent is going to be able to get off at least an attack for 100 damage. At minimum, he discards a handful of energy. Hopefully they do not draw into something that is of a good supporter, and it doesn't seem like they do. And this is one of the problems with Rayquaza VMAX. It's just missing something. Ah, they do get a research. Okay, I take my words back. They do get a Flappy. Do they have a switch? If they have a switch, they have a really good chance at knocking out my Dragapult V, which would put us in a tough position, but not undoable. So they're getting out their Mareeps. This is perfect, easy bench targets for my Dragapult VMAX and Inteleon lines. He does have an air balloon, but is there a switch? That's what matters most, is the switch. Doesn't look like it. They're going to max burst for 100 damage. And we will see what happens. We do top deck the energy, which is great. We are going to go ahead and Evo Incense for our Dragapult VMAXs. Alright, they're both evolved. Let's evolve into our Drizzile. And we are going to grab a Path to the Peak, I believe. Maybe a Tool Jammer. That might be good too. But I think Path is more important. It'll stop abilities so that our opponent can't use them. And we'll we Marnie in ourselves into the Tool Jammer, which is good. And another Drizzile. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Tool Jammer. Evolve the Drizzile so I can heal off my Dragapult VMAX with my Suspicious Food Tin. But I do have to discard an energy, so I don't think I like that. Interesting. I think I'm just going to grab a research for next turn. And play down another Sobble. Yeah. And I will hold there, and we will max Phantom, dealing 130 to the active, and we will put, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 on the Flaffy, which I should be able to knock out next turn. So I just made it really hard for our opponent to get out of this hand that they have. They're going to play another Mareep, which is fine, and they attach an energy. And a Rose. That's going to be troublesome. So they will be able to knock out this Dragapult VMAX. That's okay. I have another one on the bench. I will need to power up quickly. Takes 20 damage. There goes our VMAX. They get 3 prizes. However, that Flaffy will get knocked out, and we will be in an okay spot. Play this Evo Incense here. Grab ourselves a quick shooting Inteleon. And we're going to go ahead and research. We don't need the Scoop Up Net. It would have been nice to have that Raihan earlier. But no more Tool Jammer. I will attach the Horror Energy. Quick shooting onto the Flaffy. Would have been nice to draw onto another one, but I don't. But we will go ahead and shred here. This VMAX almost knocked out, 80 damage left. And unless our opponent gets a bunch of Flaffies and switches, we're okay. There's 2 Flaffies. We could be in a little bit of trouble here. An Evo Incense for another Flaffy. That'll be enough to get 3 energies onto the Rayquaza VMAX, and it looks like they will do so, spending the normal retreat, so they need a switch, and they can't use Rayquaza's ability. So they would have to get it off the top deck or the prizes. Hindsight, I should have gotten the right hand out of the Drizzile I played earlier, but I didn't, and that's fine. Okay, our opponent, I think our opponent has enough energy. Well, they did pass the turn, and that's perfect for us. We're going to do quick shooting this Flaffy, knock it out, take a prize, a quick ball, don't need that. Our opponent's going to throw up another Flaffy. That Rayquaza has 80 damage on it. And actually, I don't know if I should knock out the Flaffy. I don't want to Marnie our opponent either. I do have an interesting choice here. Because I believe they have enough energy to knock me out, and I can't knock them out this turn. Which is frustrating, to say the least. We'll go ahead and Quick Ball. I'll grab the Zigzagoon here. Play the Zigzagoon. And we will ping the VMAX, putting it down to 70. And we'll play an Escape Rope. I will go ahead and promote the Zigzagoon and attach an energy to him and pass the turn. So what I did here was I forced them to have a boss and a switch now to knock me out. And from the looks of it, they had one card in their hands, which was not what they needed. So next turn, when I get to go, I get to use my quick shooting on the Rayquaza VMAX, and then Max Phantom to finish off the Rayquaza VMAX plus the Flappy in the active. Instead of knocking out the Flappy and then having the Rayquaza come back and knock me out, which would have lost us the game. So our opponent got a Marnie, which is unfortunate for me because I had the other energy in my hand. But they can't boss us, which is good. I did draw into a Fog Crystal and a Drizzile to get another path to Peak to shut down Rayquaza again. And an Evil Incense to get another Inteleon out. So I'm looking really good here. Opponent has another Rayquaza and a Kricketune, which is fine with me. Go ahead and energy search, probably for that other fire energy. They probably only play 3, and I know there's one in the graveyard. And they're going to Dynamotor onto that Rayquaza. Oops, excuse me for that. And now they're going to be looking for their other Rayquaza VMAX and wondering how this is going to go. Alright, so we top deck an energy, which is great. Gonna go ahead and use the Drizzile here and get ourselves the path to the Peak. Shut down their abilities. An Evil Incense to get out our other quick shooting Inteleon. And maybe we just quick shooting them down and force them to have bosses. But now he has to have the Rayquaza VMAX in their hand, and I shut down their abilities. So you know what, let's risk it for the biscuit. Let's quick shooting this Rayquaza VMAX. That puts him down to 50 damage, which is what we want. And we will quick shooting onto this Flappy. And we will use Max Phantom. And we will knock out the VMAX on the bench. And we take 4 prizes now, we only need 1 left. All my supporters are in here. There's a Switch. And another Horror Energy. Okay. Our opponent promotes Kricketune. And they need a Switch and an Energy and a VMAX. Since they attach to the hand. Do they have a VMAX and a Switch? I don't know. We will surely find out. They have a research, so there's a good chance that they will get a VMAX and a Switch here with only 9 cards left in their deck. Really close. There's the VMAX. We're looking a little bit in trouble. And they're able to get rid of my path to the Peak, so that makes it even easier for them. They got another Flappy. Now they just need a Switch mechanic. And they can dig 3 cards deeper forward with Rayquaza VMAX ability. They use Stormy Mountain to get that Pokemon out. They're thinning now. Grabbing another Rayquaza to make sure they hit that Switch card that they need. I'm sorry about that again. need to silence my cell phone when I record sometimes. Alright. So I'm sure they're going to use this VMAX ability here, and the exciting stage. It's not even almost guarantees it, because now they just need to hit on one of these cards. Out of the 7 they can draw through. So that last card, if it's a switch mechanic, we win if they didn't draw it, which would be insane. I don't know. Our opponent concedes and passes the turn. That's pretty much game now. They didn't draw into their switch mechanic. And we will just quick shooting this Flaffy, and there we go. Alright, we beat Rayquaza VMAX. Close. Looks like we're playing against Rapid Strike Malamar. Interesting matchup here, especially since those Inkays only have 50 HP, which is really important. So I want to get out my boys as fast as possible here. And it looks like I'll be able to do that with the Fog Crystal and Quick Balls. So we will go ahead and Fog Crystal for the Dragapult V. Let's get that in. Let's switch into them. Quick Ball for another Sobble. Actually, I could totally knock out this Inkay if I get a Scoop Up Net. Get the Scoop Up Net in here. It is. Why not give it a try? Why not give it a try? Play the Zigzagoon, ping the Inkay, and we will Marnie. Scoop Up Net. Oh, it was worth a shot. No worries. It was worth a shot, though. Go ahead and play the Fog Crystal, get down another Dragapult. We do have an energy in hand, which is nice. And we will just bite. Forgot the Scoop Up Net. That would have been sweet. Would have been able to knock out this Inkay. Missed it. That's okay. Looks like they will be able to evolve this turn. If they are attaching the energy here, maybe they'll just retreat it. Opponent plays down a Crobat. Also would have been nice to get a path to the peak to stop that Crobat. But we didn't, and that's okay. Our opponent was able to draw a fresh new hand pretty much, and they are deciding what to do here. And my path looks pretty clear. I evolve into my VMAX, attach the energy, and hopefully take a knockout on the bench Inkay and whatever's in the active. Our opponent still can't. Oh, they Brawly, so there's no Marnie coming, which is good. I keep my hand. And that might be a good choice if they put down a couple more Inkays. Makes sense. They're going to scoop up their damage Inkay, which is fine. And who are you going to promote to the active? Top decking a boss's orders would be great. Okay. So our opponent has no evolutions. Level Ball coming. Grabbing another Remoraid. Looks like our opponent's a little slow to get going. We can get a boss. But knocking out 2 Inkays is fine with me. So we're going to go ahead and evolve here. Play the Level Ball to grab ourselves. Yeah, another Sobble. And research away the Raihan. Pat to the peak just in case they have other Pokemon V at their disposal. And we will max Phantom here, taking out this Sobble Inkay, and this Inkay on the bench. 2 Inkays down, 2 to go. 2 prizes for me. Energies and Marnies. Might want to scoop up that Zigzagoon, put down another Dragapult. But this is the power of Dragapult playing against this deck. I mean, their bench is not safe. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to evolve one of my Sobbles, but I mean, even so, I made it tough for them. Here comes a Malamar. They can't bench another Inkay, but they're going to. Oh, Rescue Carrier is good because he can bench both of them and at least have one. Oh, so that's a pretty good conclusion, but he only benched one. And you can't knock out my Dragapult that way. That's fine. Our opponent concedes. So this, well, how'd you like that one? That's the power of Dragapult VMAX right now in this current standard. It's pretty insane, including all of those support Pokemon that are just so easy to get knockouts on. A lot of my opponents just conceded and didn't want to play after the first couple of turns, which honestly I don't blame them. It's really easy to set up this deck, really easy to get those Inteleons going, and then you're doing 70 damage to the bench, which knocks out almost all of your support Pokemons that are at their basic stage. And you can get that off pretty quickly, especially if you go first. It's a pretty good deck. I would advise checking it out. The deck list will be down below in the description, and while you're there, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, help grow the channel. I want to keep this going. I want to get to 100 subscribers hopefully by the end of the year. Well, maybe that's too soon, but by a year from when I started this channel, hopefully I can get to 100. That'd be really great. But then, we'll see you next time on Crash Play Gaming.